So unless I missed something, the writers of this movie are trying to tell us that a mystical creature does not know the difference between when a human being is dying and when a human being is dead. Oh yeah, no. So, Madame Koi Koi, the origin story, is a horror movie directed by Jay Franklin Jituboh. It stars Iretido Demi Okolawon. It tells that age-long story about Lady Koi Koi. For those that don't know, Lady Koi Koi is a mythical story about a lady with high heels who terrorized boarding house students back in the day. And movie makers now are trying to put an origin story on the folklore of this character or creature, as the case may be. Now, straight off the bat, I think the first thing I just loved about this movie is the fact that it is telling a Nigerian story. I just love the fact that this is happening. I'm not sure if Lady Koi Koi was popular in the 80s or popular in the early 2000s, but as someone who went to boarding house in the 1990s, I think this story, it was something that I was really looking forward to. And as someone who sometimes could be a horror movie junkie, this was something that was really high on my list of things that I wanted to see. So straight off the bat, I love the fact that it was a Nigerian story. I also, this movie is on Netflix, and it is divided into two parts. There are people who come out to say that, oh, it is a series or whatever. And I just want people to know it is a movie that was divided into two and released at separate points in November, I think. Now, and for the most part, it works because at the end of the first half of this movie, the first episode in quotes, it really makes you want to look forward to the second episode. Yeah, it's not like as if it ends on a cliffhanger or anything, but for the fact that you have gotten to know some of the characters, you know some of the things that are going on around this movie, it just sets it up for you to, know what's going to happen in the second episode. And I think that was really smart of the movie, of the producers of this movie. Speaking of the characters, I love some of the characters in the movie. The kids, or not the kids, the actors who play kids in this movie, they were really, really good. I really like them. Everything surrounding the students, it just reminded me of that show I Need to Know that starred Funke Akindele. Yes, it just reminded me a lot of that show. And it's really nice because I don't get to reference a lot of Nigerian movies or TV shows on my channel. And I thought it just, the nostalgia about it all, just really nice for me. It really worked. Some of the things you saw happening in the boarding house, some of the things just took me back to when I was in secondary school, when I was in boarding house. And that's why I talk about really relatable characters, really relatable circumstances. Like I said, it is telling a Nigerian story. When you watch this movie, it kind of, gives a glimpse of how villains should be. Now, when you watch this movie, you think that the villain is actually Lady Koi Koi, but it's someone else or different people in these movies. Iretido's character, I think she plays Mother Supreme, like the principal of this school, and that, for the most part, that is a decently written character, and I liked, you can tell what motivates her to do some of the things that she does in this movie. And I think that was great. I think that was really nice the way the movie makers wrote some of these characters. Now, when this movie moves into the second episode, I think for me, that's where this movie lets itself down a little bit for me. First of all, I just feel like we're in a horror movie, in quotes. It didn't show a lot of, there wasn't much that will really keep you at the edge of your seats. Most of the killings that are done off screen. Yes, and I know that the build up to the killings are there, but many of them are done, all of them, if I can put it, are done off screen. And I just felt like there was at no point, there are some dreams that happen in the movie that are dreams, but there's nothing in this movie, or there's not much in this movie that will really keep you at the edge of the seat. That intense moment that you say, oh my God, there's something that is really going on, that is really intense, it is scary, it is putting you at the edge of the seat. I don't know, maybe because I've been spoiled with a lot of horror movies in the past. I don't know. But it is, I had to go back and check the rating of this movie, and it's for mature audiences. So it's not like as if they were thinking, oh, this is for kids, so we can't be putting too much on screen. It is for mature audiences, and it was a little bit disappointing for me. The actual folklore surrounding the Lady Koi Koi, yes, nobody knows how Lady Koi Koi came out to be, so of course everybody has to do it with their own discretion or creativity of what they believe Lady Koi Koi was or is, but I just felt like the folklore surrounding it, from what we've been known, throughout our lives, the movie makers deviate from that a little bit, and for me it and this is because of what happens towards the end of the movie, at the very end of the movie, and that's what leads me to the other thing I did not like about this movie, which I'll reference the intro of this video. There's something that happens. It kind of took me back to that movie, Living in Bondage, Breaking Free, where the end of that movie reminded me of the end of this movie too. Someone makes a sacrifice, and it just felt like, how could that happen? Like, why was it written in that way, right? Spirit don't they look face. I'm trying not to spoil it. Spirit don't they look face, you understand? And it just felt like, and I'm saying, like, unless I missed something, I don't know why that was written in that way. To sum it up, it just felt like, remember that scene from Sherlock Holmes, the one Robert Downey Jr., the first one? There was something he said in that movie where he goes,
it's a matter of professional integrity. No girl wants to marry a doctor who can't tell if a man's dead or not.
And I just felt it was in that way, and in the end, I just felt like these things just set the movie down a little bit for me. But having said that, it's a good movie. It's not terrible. Obviously, you can tell that the movie makers are looking at doing a second one. I can't wait to see how that transpires. They kind of like set the Lady Koi Koi from being, we're not sure again what her motivations are based on what we know a Lady Koi Koi to be, unless I missed something. But it's entertaining. It's not a bad movie, and for me, Madame Koi Koi, the origin story, will get a 3.5. Yeah, so what are your thoughts? I thought it wasn't a bad movie. It was entertaining enough, but I just felt like this thing just set the movie down a little bit. Plus the fact that it was it just felt predictable to me sometimes, with the way there were a lot of conveniences that happened in this movie. But it wasn't bad, it was entertaining. But what are your thoughts? Please comment below, let us know. As always, thank you for watching. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, as it helps a lot. And as always, stay blessed, and please do something good for a neighbor today. Peace.